Hello, this is Ardalan Minokadeh, and I'm here with Dr. Deirdre Hooper to review the cosmetic-leaning manuscripts from the February 2024 edition of the journal Dermatologic Surgery. We'll start our podcast on a somber note while we remember a giant in our field, Dr. Henry Roenigk. Our esteemed editor-in-chief, Dr. Bill Coleman, honored the doctor with a beautiful obituary, and I'd like to take a few minutes and honor him and take some excerpts from the article. Dr. Roenigk was born in 1934 in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and later his medical career started at Northwestern Medical School, where his father, Henry Sr., also a physician, trained, and his son, our colleague in dermatology, Randy Roenigk, also attended. He served our country in the United States Army, after which he completed dermatology residency at the Cleveland Clinic in 1966. He remained there and became chairman and later moved to Northwestern University. Dr. Coleman highlights in his obituary that Dr. Roenigk was one of the first U.S. derm chairmen to embrace surgery as an integral component of dermatology training, noting that his residents were routinely performing surgical techniques like dermabrasion and hair transplantation in the early 1970s. Dr. Coleman also mentions that current trainees and younger dermatologists may not appreciate this as much, but if I can quote, he says that widespread surgical practice had largely disappeared from the dermatology specialty in the 30s and 50s, and then slowly resurrected afterwards. Dermatologists who practiced surgery were considered outliers in the 60s and 70s, so formal acceptance by the chair of a major department was pivotal. Many dermatology chairmen were not happy with this change, but Dr. Roenigk took a risk that, quote, turned out to be the future of a new specialty. Dr. Roenigk's accomplishments also include publishing over 300 papers and many textbooks, including 3 textbooks written with his son, shown in Figure 2, Roenigk and Roenick's Dermatologic Surgery, Principles and Practice, with 2 editions in the 89 and 96, and a final Surgical Dermatology in 1993. He was elected to be president of ASDS and ISDS, and was also elected onto the board of directors of the AAD. He was involved in organizing the Hawaii Dermatology Seminar for 35 years. He was described as generous, delightful, and energetic. In Figure 3, Dr. Coleman shared a fun memory of Dr. Roenigk riding into the 1990 ISDS Gala in Florence, Italy on horseback, wearing Renaissance garb, highlighting his fun side. And ultimately, Dr. Roenigk finished his career in Scottsdale, Arizona, where he passed away on December 10th, 2023. I admit that I personally did not have the honor of meeting the doctor. Dr. Hooper, I'm curious if you interacted with him and if you have any thoughts on the contributions he made to our field and his lasting impact.
That was a beautiful summary. And as you mentioned, a beautiful obituary written by Dr. Coleman. And no, I did not meet Dr. Roenigk. And after reading this obituary as a fellow equestrian, and he sounds like just a great guy that I would have liked to hang out with. And I just, I think all of us, obviously, as members of the American Society of DermSurgery, it's hard to believe that there was a need to be met to bring surgery back. And so I really want to thank him and think of him and his family and appreciate that contribution, because it's changing all of our practices every day. And I think that's what you and I we'll be talking about that a lot, is that derm surgery is really special and really elevated, and something that we all need to be working to protect. And so just thanks to him very much.
Absolutely. Well said. Thank you.